Terror scare in Boston. How a cartoon character caused a citywide alert. An ex-prison break star looking at possible prison time.
Just the manslaughter charge alone is up to 10 years.
What charges the Beverly Hills police are seeking against Lane Garrison after a deadly accident. How could anybody survive this?
I was thinking, this is not real, this is not happening.
The woman who crashed tells Fox 11 how her friends and God helped save her life. Now on the Fox 11 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, I'm Christine Devine.
And I'm John Beard. It was supposed to be a clever kind of electronic advertising, but it caused the biggest security scare in Boston since 9/11.
Tonight, one man is under arrest, and the TV network behind it could be prosecuted. Tony Valdez is live in the newsroom with more. Tony.
Christine, Turner Broadcasting is in big trouble in Boston tonight to promote a show called Aqua Teen Hunger Force on Turner's Cartoon Network. Someone came up with the idea of putting small electric signs in unusual places around Boston. And apparently no one at Turner realized that those devices could be mistaken for a terrorist device like a bomb. These are two of the 14 devices found in Boston. One of the things that concerned officials was what appears to be a raised middle finger on the right side of the character. The battery pack along the bottom edge of the board was also suspicious. Making matters worse, a pipe bomb was found and detonated on the Longfellow Bridge. The first device was found at about 8 in the morning in a public transportation yard. As the day wore on, traffic was snarled across the city as more devices were found.
There was, as you might imagine, increased anxiety and panic about whether these were hoax devices, bombs to be exploded, and how many of them there were in the location.
By late afternoon, Turner Broadcasting acknowledged that this was an ad campaign, not a terrorist attack on the city.
It's all about corporate greed. It's all about Turner thinking they're powerful, they can do anything they want in the media, and that's wrong.
It is unconscionable that in this environment, post 9/11, that a corporation like Turner would do something like this in an urban city.
Late this evening, a 27-year-old man identified as Peter Drubovsky surrendered to police through his attorney in Boston. He's told investigators that he did not work directly for Turner Broadcasting. Investigators say the suspect kept detailed records of where he placed 38 of those Aqua Teen Hunger Force signs around Boston. He's promised to show police where the rest of them are at. Prosecutors, meanwhile, say that Turner Broadcasting could be liable for at least restitution for all of today's emergency services. John.
All right, Tony, thanks. On a more serious note, British police say they've broken up a terrorist plot to behead a soldier on the internet. 9 people have been arrested in Birmingham, England, all from neighborhoods where Pakistani immigrants live. Investigators say their plan was to kidnap a British soldier who's a Muslim, then broadcast his beheading online. That soldier's now in protective custody. More arrests could come later.
This remains a dynamic, fluid operation, and it is by no means finished.
The plot was uncovered after a 6-month surveillance operation. British police are worried terrorists may be changing their tactics, hatching smaller plots with fewer conspirators and targeting individuals instead of airlines or subways.
There is new video of a Russian man who tried to sell nuclear material on the black market. Police in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia took these pictures of Oleg Kinsagov displaying weapons-grade uranium he had in his pockets. Kinsagov was caught in a sting operation and sent to prison. Georgia says the sting proves Russia's nuclear material is not secure. Beverly Hills police are pursuing criminal charges against former Prison Break actor Lane Garrison related to a fatal car accident. Garrison's Land Rover jumped a curb and struck a tree last December 2nd at Gregory Way and South Beverly Drive in Beverly Hills, killing a 17-year-old and injuring 2 other teens. Jeff Michaels live in Beverly Hills to tell us about the charges. Jeff?
Yeah, tonight, Christine, what you see behind me, friends of Vahag Setian, he's the boy who was killed December 2nd. They all got together tonight spontaneously because of the announcement made by the Beverly Hills Police Department today. Now, what they have heard is that on the night of December 2nd, when Lane Garrison hit that tree right behind me, killing Vahag Setian, Garrison was never arrested, but that's very likely going to change because today the Beverly Hills Police Department said that they are asking the district attorney to charge Garrison with felony vehicular manslaughter.
The investigation revealed that Mr. Garrison's blood level alcohol was more than twice the legal limit.
Beverly Hills Police Chief David Snowden said Lane Garrison wasn't just drunk December 2nd, but high as well.
He was also under the influence of cocaine at the time of this deadly collision.
17-year-old Vahag Setian was riding with Garrison when police say the Prison Break actor rammed his SUV into a tree, killing the teen.
Under the influence of cocaine and alcohol, seatbelts were irrelevant in regards to this juvenile that was killed.
Also in the car that night and injured, two 15-year-old girls. Detectives charged the 26-year-old actor met the teens at a party where he had been drinking, then took them along to a store to buy more booze.
They left one store that turned them down because they won't sell alcohol to anybody after 11. They went to a separate market, purchased alcohol, came back and had the accident.
The probable charges against Garrison: gross vehicular manslaughter, driving under the influence of alcohol and drugs causing bodily injury, contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
We haven't even been shown anything.
Defense attorney Harlan Braun was surprised Beverly Hills police didn't notify either Garrison or him of the charges before going to the media.
The DA hasn't evaluated the case yet. It hasn't been filed in court, yet they're coming out and announcing all kinds of facts and theories that really haven't been tested in court, have not even been evaluated by the DA.
Harlan Braun and the police do have different theories. For example, Braun says that Garrison actually met the three teenagers at the grocery store. Police say no, that's not the case. They met at the party. Also, Braun says that because the SUV was involved in an accident in October, it may have had mechanical difficulties. Maybe that is why it crashed into the tree. Police say no, they checked it out. It checked out just fine. But one thing the two sides do agree on. They agree that in just a few days, when the district attorney decides on the charges, Lane Garrison is already planning to turn himself in to be arrested. Reporting live in Beverly Hills, Jeff Michael, Fox 11 News.
Iraq has canceled all flights with Syria and closed a key border crossing with Iran, part of the buildup to a planned security crackdown in Baghdad. Meanwhile, 2 car bombs went off at the same time today in separate incidents. 6 people were killed. Insurgents may be stepping up the violence before some of the 21,000 additional U.S. troops begin a neighborhood-by-neighborhood sweep through Baghdad. Opposition to that surge is growing in the Senate on both sides of the aisle. Democrat Carl Levin, chairman of the Armed Services Committee, and Republican John Warner, the previous chairman. They've now joined forces on one resolution against a troop increase. The full Senate vote will be sometime next week. It's a non-binding resolution. President Bush says it won't change his mind.
I mean, speeches matter. You know, I've given a series of speeches on Iraq. I've given interviews on Iraq. But what ultimately is going to matter is whether or not the plan works on the ground.
Some Republicans now want to give the president's plan 6 months to work. Mr. Bush opposes any timetable.
The latest Democrat to join the race for president spent his first day explaining what he really meant to say. Senator Joe Biden claims he's the best prepared candidate to be president. He was totally unprepared for the reaction when he made a remark about rival candidate Barack Obama, which many interpreted as a knock on other African Americans.
The first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy.
I don't spend too much time worrying about what folks are talking about during a campaign season.
To the best of my knowledge,
Biden has apologized for the remark. He says by clean, he meant fresh, new, smart, and insightful.
A young woman on her way to work lost control of a car today and rolled 150 feet down an embankment. Lucky for her, an off-duty fireman was driving by and called for help. She was on the 210 freeway off-ramp near La Tuna Canyon when suddenly her life changed. Al Eisner is live in Sun Valley, where tonight, just 12 hours later, she told him her remarkable story. How?
John, this is where Cynthia Arroyo works. This is where I spoke with her tonight, which in and of itself is amazing. This morning, she flies off the road. Tonight, she's already out of the hospital talking about it.
I feel lucky, that I was not hurt much.
When you consider she just got a few scratches and bruises after her car went flying off La Tuna Canyon Road, there's no question 28-year-old Cynthia Arroyo was lucky. It was just before 9 this morning, just after a trip to the gym. Arroyo was heading for work at this Christian community center she and her family have been running for the past few years, when, the way she puts it, someone cut in front of her. The road was wet.
I tried to slow down, so I put the brake, and my car just slipped to the side.
She lost control, hit the guardrail, went over the embankment and down 150 feet to the bottom of the hill. She knew her car flipped several times. She knew what was happening, but the magnitude of it all wasn't registering.
I was thinking, this is not real, this is not happening. I felt like when you fall out from the bed and you just get up. That's what I felt.
After landing, she got out of the car, looked up the hill, started praying.
I saw the hill and I realized it was hard to climb. And so I asked God, oh, please help me to get out of here so people can see me.
An off-duty firefighter saw the accident, called for help, and help came quickly. Paramedics securing her, Firefighters hoisting her back up to the top, the whole time her mind racing.
I was thinking it could have been worse. I could have been hurt. I could have died. My family would be worried.
Miles away at the community center Arroyo and her sisters run to help underprivileged families, Martha Palma says,
there was a lot of praying everywhere.
And a few hours after this, then being taken to the hospital and then released with no serious injuries, Arroyo sisters Yorlini and Jasenia were convinced this was a case of divine intervention.
God is great and we're just grateful.
A miracle.
Miracle.
And I do believe in miracles, so.
And this was a miracle?
I think yes.
A miracle, a happy ending, and to Cynthia Arroyo, a day that will forever change her life. Reporting live from Sun Valley, Hal Eisner, Fox 11 News.
Convicted of poisoning her Marine husband.
I don't understand how our justice system can fail me like that.
The jailhouse interview, why she says the jury is wrong.
Emotions run high inside and outside of court.
Never in my life have I ever been so helpless when I turned to see my best friend of 7 years getting beaten while she lay hopelessly unconscious on the ground.
Attacks on Halloween night, how 3 girls say it changed their lives forever.
Tell us how you feel. Go to myfoxla.com. We're there 24/7. Stop in Espanola on Fox 11 News is sponsored by Chevy. See your Southern California Chevy dealer or visit SoCalChevy.com.
How's business?
Fine.
Well, if you ask me,
Dad,
those curly fries are an odd duck.
we enjoy the straight fries.
I mean, there I am standing in line. Should I try the curly fries? Will I like the seasoning? Do they cost more?
I was confused too, dear.
I mean, for crying out loud, somebody should step up and make it easier to get some curly fries.
Now, when you order any combo meal, you can upgrade to my seasoned curly fries for free.
Bad dog.
There's a guy in Texas building his own rocket.
The government already has a space program, Mr. Farmer.
Do you really think they're going to let you go up in outer space?
Well, I hate to be the one breaking it to you, but you are not an astronaut, Charlie.
Warner Brothers Pictures presents You Are One Fabulous Father. Academy Award winner Billy Bob Thornton, Virginia Madsen.
When I was a kid, they used to tell me that I could be anything I wanted to be.
Show him how it's done.
The Astronaut Farmer.
I expect you home for dinner.
Rated PG. Starts February 23rd.
Maybe you want a fuel-efficient SUV. Or one that helps protect its cargo. Or maybe you want one that always makes room for more. There's a way to have all three. The 2007 Saturn Vue. Qualified buyers get a new 2007 Saturn Vue front-wheel drive 4 with a $1,500 allowance covered by the GM 100,000-mile warranty.
They were really good, and they lived in the house. Want to change the color of him. It has legs, and I don't know what it is. And there's worms and some bugs, but his head is so tiny.
Who would you give a Volvo to?
Lease a 2007 XC90 3.2 for $399 a month for 24 months.
She was convicted yesterday of killing her Marine husband with arsenic. Tonight, Cynthia Summer is talking from jail about her trial. She told Jim Patton why she thinks the jury is wrong.
No, I didn't do anything, and they know that I didn't do anything. I know that I couldn't, I know that I wouldn't, and I know that I didn't.
Cynthia Summer referring to her family, who she says stand by her despite the fact a jury of 5 men and 7 women determined she was guilty of poisoning her Marine husband.
For the jury to convict someone of first-degree murder on it had to be her, I don't understand how our justice system can fail me like that.
Summer maintains the case was full of reasonable doubt, like the forensic testing of her husband's tissue.
We don't even know if they're his tissues. There's problems. The guy that did the original arsenic test, it was his first arsenic test that he had ever done. They didn't take into any of that consideration.
So what does she think the jury considered? And did her taking the stand make a difference?
I'm not sure. I think that they had already made up their mind. I think that really that when it started, I think they had made up their mind.
But what about the impression of her wild partying behavior after her husband's death?
I don't know, I guess have never been a grieving wife. You know, and that's my answer is until you're in someone's shoes, you don't know how you would respond. And a lot of women my age, that they do the same thing. I started drinking, and that was my priority. I didn't want to be in the house. My husband died there. I looked at my children. I didn't want to have anything to do with it, and I wanted to be as far away as possible. And I didn't want to be sober. I don't want to be sober right now.
You have a fiance?
Not anymore.
What was the end all of that?
I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him, so this has just been really hard on the whole family.
A thought that came to her again as our time concluded.
Just that I'm a human, and I have 4 children at home, and it's a family that suffers, and that's sad that I haven't seen my children in a year and a half.
I have to follow that, though, with what people will think is, well, what about Todd? What about his family?
I feel bad for his family that they think that I did that, and I'm not even sure that they think that I did. It's horrific, and I wouldn't want anybody to go through that, being a parent.
Summer will be sentenced in March. Her attorney says they will appeal.
Anger and pain in a Long Beach courtroom today. A judge must decide punishment for 9 teenagers convicted in a Halloween racial attack. Today, the victims told the judge what that attack has done to them. Phil Schuman was there.
21-year-old Lauren Hyman had 13 fractures to her face and eye socket.
I may look healed to some people because the bruises have faded, but the truth is, I'm far from it.
19-year-old Michelle Smith had bruised lungs.
I couldn't believe my ears when I heard them yelling, "I effing hate white people." Never in my life have I ever been so helpless when I turned to see my best friend of 7 years getting beaten while she lay hopelessly unconscious on the ground.
And 19-year-old Laura Schneider was knocked unconscious with a skateboard.
I hope that one day they can admit to their wrongdoing so we can all move on with our lives. I'm never going to be able to put this behind me or have some peace until the people that hurt me take responsibility.
The 3 young women, their families by their sides, spoke after giving victims' impact statements inside juvenile court where cameras are not allowed. All this 5 days after the controversial convictions from the so-called Halloween night hate attack in Long Beach. Up on that 5th floor courtroom, some of the teenage defendants paid close attention as the 3 victims spoke. Others seemed to gaze off into the distance. Aside from the victims' voices and tears, it was totally quiet and very tense. Defendants' families listened to the victims' impact statements too, but still insist their children were wrongly convicted.
I think it was devastated, They know that they're innocent, and to go through situations that they're going through, they hurt because they victims too. All right.
And after court, an unusual moment. Parents of the defendants giving thank you gifts to their attorneys, even though they lost. Phil Schuman, Fox 11 News.
A teenager shot and killed as he walked home from school. In most neighborhoods, that would be shocking news. But in a gang-infested area in the San Fernando Valley, Christina Gonzalez found some teens from nearby Albert Einstein School reacting with surprising indifference. Christina.
And it was very surprising. The victim identified tonight as 17-year-old Daniel Martinez. He was actually walking home around the corner there in Nordhoff. He was shot. He ended up where those candles are at.
Paramedics try to save the life of a teenager shot while walking home from Albert Einstein High a few blocks away. He was in Nordhoff when
shots were fired. One victim was shot.
Word in the neighborhood.
Black Toyota, and the kid was walking by him, and they were looking at him, and they hopped out of the car to shoot him.
He retreated to a couple of apartments, it appears to an attempt to escape.
Residents explained the bleeding young man tried getting into several apartment buildings to ask for help, even banging on windows, no luck. Finally collapsing on the corner of Nordhoff and Orion, where 2 young women stopped their car to help. The teen dies on the way to the hospital. At about the same time, students from several area high schools are walking past the scene.
Have you guys heard anything about a shooting? That a student may have been shot up here? Nothing?
The reaction saddens residents who hug their kids and look on. I think it was a student who just left the school and he just got shot here. Have they told you anything? I don't care.
Does it surprise you that the kids are not reacting to it, the teenagers? Why?
No, because in this neighborhood it happens all the time.
Are you guys aware that a teenager got shot up here?
Nope.
Do you care?
Nope.
This child is worried.
You know, it's crazy because it happens every day to everybody.
Especially around here, you know, like every night we hear the paramedics go down the street here every night. Yeah, it's scary.
More than scary, it is sad. And adding to the tragedy, this all happens at about 12:30 in the middle of the day, and no one saw anything. No one has come forward to help investigators. Live in Mission Hills, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
A violent and heinous crime. That's how police tonight are describing a shooting death in Buena Park. A man's body was found there outside an apartment complex on Stage Road. Orange County Bureau Chief Al Naipo is live at the scene where authorities are trying to identify the victim. Al.
Tough work because the extent of the shooting is making that very difficult. The motive for this shooting unknown at this time. Meanwhile, police are searching for the person who did it. Gunfire breaks the early morning calm at the Amberwood Apartments in Buena Park. Moments later, residents find the body of an Asian man in his 30s laying beside a car in the parking lot. Police say the attack was personal.
It seems like it's a much more violent and heinous act. So, I mean, we're looking for somebody that's who obviously was very upset with this person and felt the need to shoot him multiple times and in the head.
As a result, authorities couldn't immediately identify the victim. Police doubt robbery played a part. Bloodhounds scoured the area trying to find the gunman. They weren't successful. Following the gunshots, witnesses say they saw a man wearing all black running from the parking lot towards Beach Boulevard.
The suspect was described as a male, unknown race, 5 feet 8 inches tall to 5 feet 10 inches tall, thin build.
Police towed this coupe, which they think belongs to the victim. They're hoping it might yield some evidence leading to the killer. And technicians apparently still going over that car, again, hoping that there might be a little bit of trace evidence that might help to identify that killer. Now, as far as the victim is concerned, we're told that perhaps a positive identification may come tomorrow. Reporting live from Buena Park, I'm Al Naipo, Fox 11 News.
Police in Rancho Palos Verdes are investigating a murder after a man's body was found. A passerby discovered the body this morning about 20 to 30 feet off of Palos Verdes Drive. Investigators have not released the man's identity, but they do say it's clear he was murdered.
He may be sinking in the polls, but President Bush is as popular as ever on Wall Street. The president was greeted warmly on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange today, becoming just the second president to visit during trading hours. The president was in New York to focus attention on the economy. He's also challenged corporations to stop giving lavish salaries to bonuses to top executives.
America's corporate boardrooms must step up to their responsibilities. You need to pay attention to the executive compensation packages that you approve.
The president and Wall Street got a boost from a new government report showing the economy growing faster than expected in the last quarter of 2006.
Health insurance taking center stage in Sacramento.
I guess it takes 41 assembly members and 21 senators, so 62 legislators to change a light bulb, huh?
And we're going to have that light bulb story for you coming up. We'll explain.
Fox 11 News is sponsored by T-Mobile. Stick together.
So did you two kids pick your 5 yet?
Yeah, I chose Sarah, Beth, Crystal, Jackie, and Jenny.
That's funny. I chose Sarah, Beth, Crystal, Jackie, and Jenny. Your friends are hot.
Are you gonna do anything?
Maybe you should have uglier friends.
Who's in your Fave 5? Introducing My Faves for families. Each person gets unlimited calls to any 5 people, any number, even landlines. T-Mobile, stick together.
The guy said, "Lady, you need undercoating." I said, "I don't want undercoating." He said, "Lady, protect your investment." I said, "I don't want undercoating." Then he called me stupid.
Robin, on behalf of the entire North American auto industry, I apologize. I wouldn't do that. I sell Hondas. It's my job to be helpful.
Helpful.
Have any gloves?
No.
How about boots?
I pledge allegiance to 500 miles in the California sun.
The second race of the season being as important as the first.
Home track advantage.
traffic at 183 miles per hour.
Stars who don't need stuntmen.
Goosebumps.
I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Northside, Southside, Uptown, Downtown, Upstate, Downpour. On the town, on the run, way off the beaten path. Acceleration, navigation, off-road, on-road, safe, secure, and spacious. 7 passengers, 6 days, 5 suitcases, 400 miles, 3 inches of rain, 2 stops in paradise, 1 extraordinary vehicle.
No matter what the circumstance, you'll always want to take your Land Rover LR3. Designed for the extraordinary. Visit your local Land Rover center.
On the next morning show, you loved his moves on Dancing with the Stars.
And now he's going to show us his moves here on our set. Joey McIntyre on a hot new project that he has.
Plus, Star American Idol panel, Constantine is back. And there she is.
Miss America, the new Miss America, joining us right here on set.
Tomorrow at 10 on Fox 11.
Engine start command. 1.
A rocket explodes during liftoff, taking a communication satellite with it. The rocket was launched from a converted oil rig in the Pacific on board a satellite that was going to provide communication service for several countries.
A huge power grab for Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. During an outdoor session, the Venezuelan Congress gave Chavez the power to enact laws all by himself. Chavez plans to use the new power to raise taxes on the rich and put the oil and natural gas industries under state control. Chavez will only have these powers for 18 months. He says he'll now be able to transform Venezuela into a socialist society. His critics say he's close to establishing a dictatorship.
No queremos pan, queremos tortilla.
The high price of food is causing protests in Mexico. Tens of thousands marched through Mexico City today. Prices on tortillas and other basics went up after President Felipe Calderón removed price controls. Surge in corn prices, driven in part by the explosion of ethanol industry in the U.S., has also contributed. Workers who earn minimum wage are spending about a third of their income just to buy tortillas for their families.
Parents in Torrance want to know why a registered sex offender was allowed to volunteer at a school. Mark Vasquez is listed on the Megan's Law website. He's been volunteering in his own child's classroom at Anza Elementary. Vasquez was dismissed 2 weeks ago. Tonight, parents expressed their outrage.
And I'm so angry at the fact that our children, every time they went to the bathroom, every time they went to the nurse's office, their bodies, their lives were at risk.
School district officials say bad legal advice is to blame, and they say this will never happen again.
Governor Schwarzenegger says it's important to hear from Californians who've gone bankrupt or been refused treatment because of our current health care system. So he invited some of them to the Capitol, and as Gina Garcia reports, one couple from Southern California shared their story.
We had an appendectomy.
Carrie O'Hagan from Moore Park talks health care with the governor. It's why she and her husband Adam are here with other families telling their health insurance stories.
We received bills totaling to over $150,000.
And this family was denied health coverage because some of them have asthma.
But it's not their fault that in that area, the air is bad. They didn't create the bad air.
Schwarzenegger says all of these families deserve more. The O'Hagans were just weeks away from getting health insurance through Adam's new job, but
went to the hospital, spent 9 days in the hospital. My appendix was burst. They said I was 24 hours away from dying.
Because he literally had a stomach ache, and we held off for like 2 weeks going, where he couldn't even walk anymore.
The O'Hagans say they were trying to wait until their new health plan kicked in, but finally they sought treatment, and now they're bankrupt.
It ruined my credit and made the last 2 years just much, much harder than it had to be.
Senator Dick Ackerman says the O'Hagans could have avoided that by buying insurance to cover them during that short time. But the O'Hagans say they couldn't afford it. Ackerman and other Senate Republicans are pushing a much different plan than the governor's.
Some people have to take some personal responsibility. We can't take care of everybody.
But the governor disagrees.
We must make sure that the insurance companies cover everybody.
In Sacramento, Gina Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Hotel workers near LAX will get a living wage after all. The fight by hotel owners to stop it is over. Mayor Villaraigosa reached a compromise with the hotels to phase in the wage increase and also create economic incentives like tax breaks to revitalize the area. Last year, after the city council ordered a wage hike, hotel owners threatened to fight it with a ballot measure.
We had a decision to make. Do we engage in a costly, divisive ballot fight, which would tear our communities apart, or do we come together and work together for the common good? I can say unequivocally, we made the right decision.
The city council quickly approved the compromise, but some called it a bait and switch. This deal guarantees that no other private businesses in LA will be affected.
The richer you are, the better sex you have. That's according to a new study of high net worth individuals who claim money enhanced their sexual experiences. And according to the study, rich women are enjoying sex the most. The survey studied 600 people who make more than $9 million a year. That's a lot of money. 84% of the women said having more money equaled having better sex. The number was lower for men. Only 63% of them agreed.
What is the threshold number, though, for the enjoyment to begin?
Well, you're above it. You're above it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
Although you may be the exception.
There's a bizarre thing happening. John Beard, earlier tonight, you sounded fine,
Yeah.
and now you sound...
I don't know. Last hour, my voice went.
He's been fighting this all week.
Yeah, big cold.
You need the Mark Thompson voice therapy, but...
I can't afford that.
You certainly can't. All right, let's go to Yosemite. Yes, Yosemite. It seems like an odd place to go, but they did get some snow, but oddly not enough for even many of the regular sort of wintertime activities to continue, like the horse-drawn sleighs, and the backcountry travelers are commenting that there's just not a lot of snow up there. Now, snow's important for so many reasons up there, but even just the park's tourism is dependent on snow. And of course, the waterfalls that will come as the snow melt generally happens during the warm weather, they'll be dramatically affected by the lack of snow. We've had isolated mountain showers. It has been a dry January thus far, and of course, it's been a dry winter thus far, not only at Yosemite, but here at sea level as well. This month, just 1900ths, the average January, 3 1/3, season to date, 1.5 inches. The average to date, just 7.12 inches. So we're 5.5 inches, slightly above 5.5 inches below norm, if you will, the average that is made up of those varying winters. Look at this wintry weather in the southern Mississippi Valley. Back to the west, of course, this is a low center that has produced these showers, unstable air, some areas of thunderstorms. What to expect? This will move off to the east. It'll be replaced by high pressure tomorrow. There'll still be just enough instability around for there to be leftover clouds, partly sunny, we'll say. Increasing offshore breezes, though, means warm and sunny for the weekend. It should be very, very nice. So forecast will be for fog, clouds, cool tonight, lows in the 40s. Tomorrow, morning fog and cooler. That is cooler than we have certainly seen. Temperatures in the 60s. And isolated mountain showers may continue, for particularly the first part of the day tomorrow. But look at the weekend. It warms up so substantially by Sunday. Even at the beaches, we should see some 70-degree readings by Sunday. Nice. And then finally, the valleys in the IE. Now, there's some hints toward the middle to latter part of next week. Some big weather changes here, but certainly in the short term, things beginning to clear out. So that's clear and warmer. And I hope that's the forecast for your throat as well, sir.
So do I. Would be nice.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Mark. Well, a push to ban traditional light bulbs throughout California.
I guess it takes 41 assembly members and 21 senators, so 62 legislators to change a light bulb, huh?
No worries, you won't be left in the dark. How some lawmakers want you to light your house.
Harry Potter, he's not exactly the kid wizard anymore. Here's the picture to prove it, why he's bearing it all.
Fox 11 News is sponsored by Foster Farms Fresh Chicken. Always natural, always fresh, always California grown.
West Coast, here we come! We'll be Foster Farms chickens in no time! Hey!
Don't come back again!
Ow! Whew. We're here. 2 fresh Foster Farms chickens.
No way you're from Foster Farms.
Yeah. Foster Farms Fresh Chicken. Always natural, always fresh, always California grown.
Whether it's game day, or you're having a cocktail party, or it's a special celebration. A quick trip to Smart & Final, and you've got it covered. All the beverages, all the paper goods, all the desserts and appetizers, I mean everything, and all at low warehouse prices.
Save on Corona Extra or Corona Light Beer, 12-pack, only $10.99.
Wow, we really saved a lot.
So, whether it's a tailgate party or...
Get smart. Smart and Final, the smaller, faster warehouse store.
When it's time for weight loss surgery, experience counts. Ask Pat Hicks. She had weight loss surgery 15 years ago. She lost 134 pounds and her diabetes went away.
I can go out and buy lingerie, 3.5-inch pumps. I could dance.
Surgilite works with experienced surgeons who know how to help people feel and look better. To learn more about gastric bypass, lap band, and laparoscopic procedures, call the name you can trust. Call Surgilite at 1-800-782-LIGHT.
Each note comes alive, as though it were performed live. This is the experience of the Infinity Studio on Wheels, inside the all-new Infinity G. Sound beyond machine.
Singer Courtney Love has spent time facing a judge, but will she soon be one on American Idol? Love says Idol's executive producer called her and asked her to appear on the show. Another source told Us Weekly that Love might even replace Paula Abdul. But producer Nigel Lithgow says it must have been a prank call because he never talked to Love and there are no plans to change any of the Idol judges.
What if suddenly every light bulb in your house was illegal? In the name of saving energy, a California assemblyman wants to ban the old-style incandescent bulbs. Ed Lascos is live in West L.A. Ed, how is this supposed to work?
Well, John, you got to switch over to those fluorescent light bulbs, and they cost 3 times more than the ones we're already using. And the thing is, they last 10 times longer, and they burn cooler, and all of that, they say, saves power. Lighting the way, just maybe a fluorescent future for California.
Takes 41 assembly members and 21 senators, so 62 legislators to change a light bulb, huh?
Could be. You know the bulbs most of us use right now. Incandescent ones, forget about them. This could be the future.
This is a fluorescent, but the nice thing about this is it accommodates both worlds. Our regular base socket. All of these take regular base, 60-watt bulbs. You can put these 3 into this 3 light. You can put these 2 in a 2 light, or 1 for that matter in a 1 light.
That's it. Just by changing the bulbs, we could be changing our energy savings because fluorescent burns longer and cheaper.
This only uses 15. This uses 75. Same amount of light.
You really save energy?
Yeah, you do.
Noticeable?
Well, yeah. I mean, the math from when we're asked here by customers, architects, decorators, is the math on fluorescence 4 times the kilowatt difference.
But just like anything else, all of this might be too good to be true.
The flip side of it, aesthetically, it distorts color.
Let's take a look for ourselves and see. Check out this light. This is the halogen light. It burns nice and bright, nice clear white glow, as they say. Same type of light, but to give you a look at this, this is a fluorescent light now. Check out that coloring. A little bluer, not quite as bright clear, right?
It's a good idea in the sense for energy, saving energy. The obvious is there of what it's going to do to our economy.
And the folks here at Royal Lighting say when it comes to touchy type of work, like at a beauty salon where they're putting on makeup, or an art gallery, or even a jewelry store where you want to get the true color of a diamond, that's where these fluorescent light bulbs could run into some problems. But you know, all of this still has to be approved in the law, and if it is, you still have until 2012 to change things around. And we're live on the west side. Ed Lascos, Fox 11 News.
All right, a few tears for this story.
We just kept failing and not being able to find her a home. We really wanted to find her.
A Wednesday's Child, how she finally found the family she's been dreaming about.
I'm Rick Garcia. It was supposed to be just another high school basketball game, but try telling that to these fanatics. Plus, he's the greatest player in golf, but he's got soccer and Los Angeles on his mind.
I think with David's star power there, I think it'll bring another notch and another thing for all of Southern California to come out and watch and observe.
On the day that starts sore, President Bush wants you to know the economy is strong.
It's good news for workers, it's good news for entrepreneurs, it's good news for the budget. I'm pleased.
The president getting a rousing reception from Wall Street traders. In my exclusive interview, the president says he opposes tax hikes on the rich and does not want the government involved in deciding CEO pay. But the discussion inevitably turned to Iraq.
I think it's a mistake to put timetables on difficult missions because an enemy can adjust.
Barack Obama has said that he wants all U.S. combat forces out of Iraq by March 2008. What do you say?
I say that it's important to succeed and that failure in Iraq will cause chaos.
Now, as for the tough job of being president and maybe running out the clock until the end of his term, the president told me this.
I've got 2 years to go, and I'm going to sprint to the finish.
That's business. I'm Neil Cavuto.
Wednesday's Child is sponsored by the Freddie Mac Foundation.
Many children in foster care live out of a suitcase. Moving from one home to another becomes a way of life. But with the help of Wednesday's Child, hundreds of foster children now have permanent, loving homes.
Honey, come on. We don't want to miss the plane.
Help make a child's dream of a family come true.
I'm coming, Mom.
I'm Christine Devine. If you want to meet some really great kids who are looking to be adopted, join me for Wednesday's Child on the Fox 11, 10 o'clock news.
If your Pap test is normal, you don't have to worry about cervical cancer, right? Right, of course. Wrong. A Pap isn't enough. There's another test, the HPV test. Almost all cervical cancers are caused by a virus, the human papillomavirus. And only an HPV test can directly detect the virus. Really? Why didn't I know that? Now you know.
And everyone we know should know.
Absolutely.
The HPV test. Ask your doctor, tell your friends. Must be used along with the Pap test and is approved for screening women 30 and over.
Norm's Restaurants, where life happens.
In the human body, the heart pumps blood through thousands of miles of arteries every minute.
Inventor of the Jarvik artificial heart, Dr. Robert Jarvik.
But high cholesterol can clog arteries and lead to heart disease or a stroke. Adding Lipitor is proven to lower bad cholesterol an impressive 39 to 60% when diet and exercise are not enough. And today, clinical evidence proves that Lipitor can reduce both your risk of heart attack and your risk of stroke if you have several common risk factors for heart disease. All important reasons to ask your doctor about Lipitor. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. You need simple blood tests to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor if you're taking other medications or if you have any muscle pain or weakness. They may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Lipitor is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. Could you be doing more with Lipitor? Ask your doctor.
So did you two kids pick your 5 yet?
Yeah, I chose Sarah, Beth, Crystal, Jackie, and Jenny.
That's funny. I chose Sarah, Beth, Crystal, Jackie, and Jenny. Your friends are hot.
Are you gonna do anything?
Maybe you should have uglier friends.
Who's in your Fave 5? Introducing My Faves for families. Each person gets unlimited calls to any 5 people, any number, even landlines. T-Mobile. Stick together.
The ballots are in the mail. The Motion Picture Academy sent ballots today to nearly 6,000 members for the 79th annual Oscars. They were mailed from the Beverly Hills Post Office. Members of the Academy have until February 20th to vote and return their ballots. The Oscars take place February 25th at the Kodak Theater.
Harry Potter is going nude. Take a look at that buff, some say sexy body. Yes, it's a transformed Daniel Radcliffe, best known for his role as the bespectacled, in Harry Potter. The actor will bear it all for his London stage debut. Peter Shaffer's Equus, 17-year-old actor, not only appears naked, but also has a sex scene in the Tony Award-winning British play. Not everyone is impressed. The nude Harry Potter has some parents angry.
I can see why they might be a little disturbed.
Childhood favorite?
All right, Lakers in action. Here's Rick.
Okay. Well, the Lakers, they figured it was time to pick on somebody their own size. The Boston Celtics had lost 12 straight games. The Lakers 3 straight when they met in Beantown tonight. And the Lakers got a boost tonight because Kobe returned from that 1-game suspension. He was a factor, no doubt about it. Time running out in the third. Lakers up by 7. Kobe gets the ball and lets loose at the buzzer. Go in the hole. The Lakers by 10. We move on to the fourth. Lakers really going at the Celtics now. Kobe pours in 43 points, and the Lakers beat up Boston 111-98. Here's a face Lakers fans may remember. Doug Christie. He signed a 10-day contract with the Clippers today, who are hosting Chicago. Everything was going the Clips' way. Time running out in the first half. Coutinho Mobley will just throw it up, and it's in. Did he beat the buzzer? You be the referee. Watch the light and watch the time. Yeah, he knocks that down. Clippers win 110-98, and they are now one game over 500. Just 4 more days until Super Bowl Sunday. Peyton Manning out on the field today getting ready for his first Super Bowl. The Colts held their first extensive practice of the week. They say Manning's bruised right thumb, which he suffered 10 days ago against New England, did not seem to bother him today. Meantime, Rex Grossman and the Chicago Bears also held a practice today for almost 2 hours at the University of Miami. Coach Lovie Smith says all his players are healthy. A 2-week break can do that for a team. Tiger's a little off the beaten path. He's in Dubai this week, getting ready for the Dubai Desert Classic. The big topic over there, not Tiger's 7 straight wins on the PGA Tour, but soccer in L.A. Tiger grew up out here and has some thoughts on the city's new big arrival, David Beckham.
You know, Los Angeles is, we've lost basically two football teams there. You know, the Rams and the Raiders have moved out, and it's now, we're looking for something else. And I think with David's star power there, I think it'll bring another notch and another thing for all of Southern California to come out and watch and observe.
Well, here's a little fan probably hungry for a Ducks win. The Ducks were hosting Phoenix tonight. Third period of this game, they're tied at 1. Ducks applying the pressure. Andy McDonald's going to break through and knock one in. Anaheim holds on to take this one 2-1. A frightening scene at the end of a high school basketball game. This happened last night in Milwaukee. Fans stormed the court in celebration after Bradley Tech beat Bayview. Within seconds, fists were flying. Police jumped in to try to separate the fans. 10 people were arrested, 4 officers and 2 students were injured.
Presenting Sports Oddities.
Bear down, Chicago Bears.
With every play, clear the way to victory. Bear down, Chicago Bear.
See, American Idol didn't have this. These are Chicagoans from all walks of life singing the Bears fight song, Bear Down, Chicago Bears.
Some singing better than others.
I don't know if it's going to help. They're 7-point underdogs. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Thanks, Rick. Christine.
Proof Wednesday's child is working. Tonight, an adoption. A 13-year-old girl in foster care most of her life finds a family forever.
Say what's up to my girl, Shayla.
This is Shayla on Wednesday's Child. We met at Power 106 radio station with DJ Kool-Aid.
We're just saying goodbye. We're just saying so long for now, okay, Christine?
That they will adopt Shayla.
This is her in November on Adoption Day.
It's kind of like a celebration of a wedding where the family gets together and makes a promise to each other, a commitment for life.
Shayla signed the papers accepting Kenneth and Suzanne as her parents. What told you that this was the right move?
I don't know, it was just like something inside of me was like, just take a chance.
Shayla has been in foster care since she was 3 years old. The adoption had the judge teary-eyed.
We just kept failing and not being able to find her a home. We really wanted to find her. And we did. We did.
Shayla now has a big sister and a little sister who is also adopted. She's in cheerleading, is a musician, and in the choir. Mom and Dad wanted an older child.
When they're 22, they need a place to call home and come home and, have Thanksgiving dinner, have Christmas, and I think that's one of the biggest things for me was to do that.
Meet the Wednesday's Child team.
This is the oldest child, that I had to match. And I kind of believed in the past that they're too old, but they're never too old.
It includes supporters like DJ Kool-Aid.
She's a strong individual, and she's got wonderful, committed parents. I got to talk to the parents, and they're committing themselves to her life. So God bless them, and God bless you guys for doing what you do. It's unreal.
Wednesday's Child is sponsored by the Freddie Mac Foundation. And I applaud Shayla for coming forward and sharing her story. She knows kids like that are out there.
Absolutely. Already looks like a nice family.
Great family. All right, also an overdue congratulations to the new director of the LA County Department of Children and Family Services. Trish Plone was appointed in September. Social worker since 1979. She is the first director to come from within the department. Congratulations, Trish.
Absolutely. All right. Well, a competition, thousands of feet in the air, dozens of paragliders take flight. The amazing sight in the skies above Mexico.
And here are the numbers in tonight's $19 million Super Lotto Plus drawing. 7, 14, 17, 18, 32. Your mega number is 21.
The winning Fantasy 5 combination is 5, 9, 16, 19, and 20.
Today's midday daily 3 numbers, 6, 0, 8.
The evening daily 3, 3, 3, 8.
And the results of tonight's Daily Derby.
Fox 11 News is sponsored by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move through the world.
Active? Definitely. The gym, the track, the field. Unstoppable? That's me.
The next generation Nissan Sentra just awarded 5 stars for frontal crash test safety.
Life's 24/7. So's my Nissan Sentra.
Busy? That's an understatement. My week, it's like one long day. Perfect. So where do I chill out?
The next generation Nissan Sentra, only $189 a month.
Life is 24/7. So's my Nissan Sentra.
Nice catch. But why not come to Hometown Buffet for savory crab cakes, buttercrumb Alaska pollock, sweet orange shrimp, and more. All for one low price. 3 from the sea, Thursday through Saturday nights, only at Hometown Buffet.
We believe that by seeing you when you're healthy, we can help keep you that way. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.
And Ferguson on the 17th. Oh, that's trouble.
Papá, ¿y la?
Un poquito más a la derecha.
Increíble! He's looking right at it. There.
Nothing is lost with the full HD 1080p Aquas from the leading innovator of liquid crystal television, Sharp.
If you like to play here, you'll love to stay here. Harrah's Lake Tahoe. For just $89 a night, enjoy luxurious 4-diamond accommodations, gambling action, exotic nightlife, and of course, all the outdoor excitement Lake Tahoe is famous for. It's all right here, and it's only $89 a night. Just visit harrahscasinos.com to make your getaway today. Only at Harrah's Lake Tahoe.
Northside, Southside, Uptown, Downtown, Upstate, Downpour. On the town, on the run, way off the beaten path. Acceleration, navigation, off-road, on-road, safe, secure, and spacious. 7 passengers, 6 days, 5 suitcases, 400 miles, 3 inches of rain, 2 stops in paradise, 1 extraordinary vehicle.
No matter what the circumstance, you'll always want to take your Land Rover LR3. Designed for the extraordinary. Visit your local Land Rover center.
Tune in after the Fox 11 News for exclusive interviews.
Apu, will you ever stop selling spoiled meat?
No.
I mean, yes.
Weeknights at 11 on Fox 11.
Check this out. A paragliding competition taking flight in Mexico. The Monarca Paragliding Open is set to run for 6 days, with professional competitors making daily flights of over 34 miles in order to win. The competition is based in the Valle de Bravo, a 2-hour drive out of Mexico City, and a world-class paragliding destination. Over 150 pilots from across the globe are set to compete.
Oh, beautiful.
Looks like fun.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on Good Day LA from the new comedy series Rules of Engagement, Patrick Warburton and Oliver Hudson.
That's tomorrow morning 7, following the Fox 11 Morning News. Coming up next, The Simpsons.